Hi guys, Jake here, and today we're going to be doing another blacksmithing video. In the last video we forged the Tomahawk head, and I left out the grinding. I've done that, so all the profiling's been done, the bevels are done, all the shaping, all the major shaping work is done. All that's left is to obviously remove grind marks and bring it down to a nice polished finish, but that's for later. Because first of all we need to heat treat the blades to make it more useful for us. To do this we are going to heat this up until the metal becomes non-magnetic. That means the structure of the metal changes. I believe it's because the carbon atoms are on the outside of the molecule rather than the inside where they normally are. That makes it harder. And by quenching that suddenly, what we're going to do is in oil, locks it in that position and makes it really hard. So that's what we're going to be doing. So heat this up, non-magnetic, quench in oil, and then you've got a limited amount of time, because once you harden it, the stress in this steel is incredible. So I need to then grind it so I can see the metal itself. And then I'm going to use a standard blowtorch to do this. I'm just going to heat it up until the colour of the metal changes to a kind of bluish brown, somewhere like that. That's called tempering, and that relieves the stress built up by the hardening and makes a more useful blade. A really hard blade actually isn't useful. It will crack. It's sometimes if you harden the blade and you just leave it there for a few hours, it will crack on its own accord. So it's really important that you temper it, and you temper it properly. Otherwise, well, it's been said that an improperly heat-treated blade is more dangerous than a properly heat-treated blade to the user, because if you imagine you got say a sword or something like that, and the thing is full of stress, you hit it against something solid, this thing is going to shatter in your face. It's going to be obviously it's not going to shatter like glass. It's not going to be thousands of shards of metal, but there's going to be all that stress is going to be suddenly relieved. One of the pieces of metal is going to go flying. It's going to have jagged edges. It's a sharpened blade. It's not safe, so it's really important to get this right. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Before you just line up, I'll talk you through what I'm going to do before we do it. So before we get going, let's take a look at the blade itself. Here we are. So as you can see, the profiling's been all done. The shape's about right, I think. I'm quite happy with it for the size. Sorry about that. The forged weld, as you can see, it's taken relatively well. Better on that side. It's not. There is a line in there. I think if I ground it down far enough, it would disappear, but it's small enough as it is. I don't want to be grinding it away. But functionally, I mean, the forged weld is taken nicely in the centre, just not so well at the edges. So all well and good. It didn't affect the point at all. So I think it's a decent blade, and we'll have some luck with it. So for the quenching, if you'll excuse me. For the quenching, we've got this container full of oil. Now, as you can see, it is a plastic container. That's not really what you want, but sometimes you just have to make do. It's a real solid plastic container. It's not going to melt. Basically, what we do is, where did I put it here? With the axe head heated up to a cherry red, non-magnetic, you then submerge it in oil. That will quench it, and you get a massive flare up. Okay, that seemed to go relatively successfully. The blade hasn't cracked at all. The hardening's definitely worked. You can test with a file, just, and you find that the file doesn't scratch it, because this is harder basically. So what we're going to do now, as quickly as possible, is because it's mainly the blade part that we're working on. The most of the eye part wasn't heat treated, wasn't hardened. It was only up to about here. I'm going to grind the flat so I can see the metal, and then temper it on with the blowtorch. Further up you go, you can give it a bluer colour, but you want a nice brown colour towards the actual edge. Quench it off to stop the tempering process. Okay, so that's all done, that's tempered, it's been hardened and tempered. The blade is now fully usable. Now it needs to be cleaned up, so that'll be in the next stage is the final grinding. It's getting rid of all the previous grind marks, and then polishing it up basically, and then just sharpening up the edge. So that will be the next video on the